Instead of Gwinnett County school system trying to help me, I just received a call from Gwinnett County Court saying that they are charging my 8-year-old autistic. My son has been diagnosed with autism, conduct disorder, behavior disorder, oppositional defiant disorder, and a few other disorders as well. And the school, Gwinnett County school system, has charged an 8-year-old with simple battery. He threw a desk, and I don't know if the desk hit the teacher or if he hit the teacher. Either way it goes, those are behaviors that autistic children exhibit. Those are behaviors that are out of his control. The DA just called me and they're pressing charges against an 8-year-old. A lot of you guys that watch this are parents of special need children. So if you're concerned because you might end up in court just like I'm about to be about a special need child, because I don't understand what's the point in having a special needs education if you're going to treat the child as if they're in regular education. I thought him being in special education was to protect him. There's no protection if you're going to treat him just the same as a regular child because he exhibited some of his disability behaviors. You're pressing charges? And y'all wonder why so many families are going through so many different things. You see, like, you want to know why? I done beg to the top of the world, help me! And ain't nobody motherfucking did a fucking thing. Watch your back or you'll end up in court about a child's disability.
I'm TJ and this is Life Lessons. Mom, first and foremost, I am sorry that you are dealing with this. I know this is very scary for you and your son. I put in your comments an honest question. If that desk if it struck the teacher and knocked her out with a concussion or ended her life, what would you say then? And the reason why I ask that, I don't know what it's like to raise an autistic child. I don't. But I'm inclined to believe that we teach them right from wrong, and they should be able to understand consequences of behavior. Again, I have not raised an autistic child. However, I have engaged with several on varying levels of the spectrum, and they understand right from wrong. I'm reminded, I think it was in Texas maybe a year ago, there was a principal who was struck, I forget what she was struck by, but she lost her eye and was in the hospital for weeks, if not over a month. I'm also reminded by, I think it was in Georgia a year or two ago, this young man, young black man, I think he was in high school, but he was a special needs child. And the teacher, I think, took some type of device that he was playing with in class because he was supposed to put it away and he wouldn't put it away. So the teacher took it from him. There's video of this child, this man child, because he was a big, young man child, stomping and beating this teacher within an inch of her life. Within an inch of her life. So what is the recourse? The mental health or the diagnoses may be the reason for certain actions, but it cannot be an excuse for them. There have to be consequences. Again, story time. When I work for an agency as a reasonable accommodations coordinator, that's for people who need certain accommodations to do their job, whether it be physical disabilities or mental disabilities. And one time in particular, we had several veterans at work for the agency and, had varying degrees of physical as well as mental disabilities. And one time in particular, this one veteran came in who had PTSD. He was very hypervigilant. He was very frustrated, agitated. And as I'm explaining things to him, because he's talking about, what he feels his supervisor is doing or not doing, he starts banging his fist on my desk, speaking louder and louder and louder. So fortunately, I was able to calm him down. But in calming him down, I had to let him know, I understand that certain things trigger you. And we will be mindful of that to the best of our ability. but that does not excuse your conduct. And you will be held responsible for your conduct. I'm inclined to believe that children, whether autistic or not, understand certain things. And regrettably, if they are not taught to understand the consequences early, they will be forced to deal with the consequences in institutions. I'm very sad that you're having to go through that. And I know your son is going to be afraid because he's not going to understand certain things. But it has to be impressed upon him in some shape, form, or fashion, because even though he is in special education, he understands certain things because he's able to learn. He's able to learn. Thus, education. And in as much as, yes, the special education environment is to protect them, but teachers have to be protected also. So again, I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I was like, okay, but I'm seeing too many instances of teachers and administrators being hurt, some within an inch of their lives. And do we just say, okay, well, this child is, from special education and that's it? Help me to understand. Those are my thoughts. What are yours? Take that with you.